I think you feel better about yourself when you say what needs to be said at the time it needs to be said, and not afterwards where you go home and think, I should have said this. What makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off.
So, Ice Cube just revealed some disturbing details about the real reason why Jay-Z was BFFs with men like Diddy and R. Kelly. Y'all better sit down for this one because what Ice Cube had to say will shock you. Each day, it seems more and more inevitable that Jay-Z is going down the same way Diddy is, because it turns out we don't even know the half of it. According to Ice Cube, Jay, Puffy, and R. Kelly were all part of the same group that did all sorts of terrible things and helped each other cover it up. And Jay didn't stop being friends with these guys until the last minute because he allegedly didn't want them to expose his role in all of it. But it seems like the lid is about to be blown off because R. Kelly is in jail. Diddy is getting slammed with all these lawsuits, and folks are saying Jay-Z is up next. But how come Jay-Z had such a strong alliance with R. Kelly and Diddy in the first place? And what secrets was he so desperate to protect? Well, let's get into it.
Yeah, they are, very close to, if they haven't already crossed the line with that. And I think it should be looked into what they're doing to the big three.
So it seems like the walls are closing in on Jay-Z because Ice Cube recently dropped some disturbing details about the relationship between Hov, Diddy, and R. Kelly. From the looks of it, the things Ice Cube knows about Jay could officially end his career and send him to the gallows. Sources close to him even say that Ice Cube has revealed his information to authorities to help bring Jay-Z and Diddy down. And as you can imagine, it's a lot of dark stuff. To start with, Jay-Z has been making the news rounds because in the light of everything being exposed about Diddy, some people believe he is up next to be exposed. In fact, YouTuber Storm Monroe seemed to have insider information on the matter. Storm posted a video recently where he talked about how Jay was going to be hit with the same onslaught of lawsuits Diddy is currently facing once the Diddy situation plays out. He suggested that there were some people behind the scenes pulling strings to make sure Diddy goes down and that Jay-Z follows right along.
Once they're done with Diddy, right? And this is going to be going on for some time, but once, I guess you can say the public humiliation, basically after the major documentaries come out, right? After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right? Jay-Z, over the course of his career, and I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know. For some reason, y'all like to conveniently forget what age Foxy Brown was when he was with her. Y'all like to forget that he was rolling with R. Kelly and they was doing a lot of things together. Y'all like to forget a lot of that, right? But good PR, good marketing, and the fact that, you know, Jay-Z got a lot of this industry on lock. So he's able to keep a lot of things hush-hush. He's very powerful, and Beyonce is too. But they are still black. And this industry is not. The people that run it, they are not, okay? So when they're done with you and it's your turn to be exposed, you're going to be exposed too. So long story short, I told y'all Diddy was first.
Now, we don't know how much of that is true or how long it will take before it gets to Jay-Z's turn to be exposed. However, people have started bringing up some old stuff that Jay got up to in the past that could potentially be the reason why he gets exposed. And much of this has to do with things he allegedly did with Diddy and R. Kelly back in the day. To give you some context, back in the day, Jay didn't really become a successful artist at a very young age, unlike many of his peers in the music scene. On the other hand, R. Kelly had already established himself as a mainstream R&B artist in the early 1900s, and Diddy was working at one of the most important record labels. Ultimately, all three of them would meet in different scenarios, and Jay would go on to collaborate with them on different artistic projects. Now, Jay-Z and R. Kelly were incredibly close, and they were friends even outside the studio. They attended the same parties, shopped at the same stores, dated the same girls, and so on. And that's why, ever since R. Kelly has been exposed for being a creep, people believe Jay-Z must also be the same. There have even been speculations that Jay knew all about R. Kelly's escapades with young girls, and that he not only encouraged and helped him cover it up, but he also participated in it. Take Aaliyah, for example. In 1991, when Aaliyah and R. Kelly met, she was only 12 years old, even though she was already a talented singer. By 1994, Aaliyah had released her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. What y'all might not know about that album is that it was written and produced by R. Kelly. Now, of course, that album is a classic, and it has some of the timeless tracks from that era, like Back and Forth and At Your Best, You Are Loved. love. However, one of the underlying messages from that album was that love is love, no matter the age. R. Kelly basically projected his feelings about a teenager on her debut album, because wouldn't you know it? A witness later testified that R. Kelly had started having relations with Aaliyah from when she was 13. In August 1994, when Aaliyah was 15, R. Kelly obtained a forged document stating Aaliyah's age as 18, and he secretly married her after he allegedly found out she was pregnant. Mind you, he was already 27 at this point. Was she really pregnant? Whatever happened to the pregnancy, we'll probably never know. What we do know is that the marriage was annulled in 1995 because, of course, Aaliyah was not old enough to legally enter a marriage. Although Aaliyah's case was the most publicized, dozens of other women and girls have since come forward with stories of how they survived R. Kelly's interest in teenage girls. When R. Kelly was later convicted and sentenced to jail in 2021, many people wondered how he could do the things he did for so long without anyone calling him out on it. Well, it was all thanks to people who knew what he was doing and looked the other way, and people who even joined him to do these things, like Jay-Z. In a recently resurfaced interview, Nas talked about this issue with Wendy Williams on her former 107.5 FM radio show. According to Nas, Jay-Z definitely knew about R. Kelly's twisted interest in young girls, but he just went with it and kept working with him.
Yo, don't put up no movies. I said, that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. Yeah, I could have put up movies. I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and said, yeah, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and them was in there doing Best of Both Worlds, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you want to tell me that working on that album, that he ain't never seen a 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
It's wrong. I've been around R. Kelly, and I pay for that, brother. I've been on a tour with him. It didn't last too long, but I've been around him. I didn't see no 14-year-old, but I talked to the man, and I've seen there's a little problem there. The brother needs help, and I pay for him. But if I sit there and did an album about women with him, I'm definitely maybe indulgent. He had to be indulgent to 14-year-olds, man. That's what I'm saying. What I'm here for the people, man. I'm here to talk the truth.
Oh, but if you thought that was the end of it, then you're about to be surprised. Even after knowing everything R. Kelly did to Aaliyah, Jay was still interested in her, and he even tried to date her when she was dating his friend, Dame Dash. Jay would send her flowers, try to court her, go on dates with her, the whole shebang. But Aaliyah just wasn't feeling him that way, and she told him as much. But Jay couldn't handle the rejection, so he tried sabotaging Dame's career. And the reason why this was such a betrayal to Dame was that he and Jay had been tight for a long time. Back when Jay was still a struggling artist, hawking his records from studio to studio, and nobody wanted to sign him, Dame put his time and resources down to form Rockefeller Records with him. This gave Jay the needed leverage to snag a distribution deal with Def Jam in 1997, and from there, he started working with other big names like Diddy, Ski, and DJ Premier. However, things started going sour between Dame Dash and Jay-Z because of Jay's interest in Aaliyah, and Jay began to cut Dame out of important decisions and business moves. Jaguar Wright once talked about how Jay did Dame dirty because of his own selfish interests.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner, but to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he girl that didn't want you.
Oh.
But that's not even the worst part. In February 2002, that infamous footage of someone who appears to be R. Kelly blanking on a girl who was later discovered to be under 18 was released. A few months later, R. Kelly got arrested and indicted on 21 counts of, minion corn. When police went to search his Florida residence, they found images and a videotape of young girls in compromising positions with R. Kelly. R. Kelly denied all of this, and the charges got dropped in 2004, but we all know how that ended. Meanwhile, even all the dirt coming out about R. Kelly didn't make Jay-Z cut him off or call him out. Oh no. Instead, in 2002, the same year all this went down, Jay collaborated with R. Kelly on the album, The Best of Both Worlds. They even planned to go on tour that same year, but because of R. Kelly's pesky little legal problems, they had to postpone the tour till 2004. Never mind that in the midst of all this, Aaliyah lost her life in that tragic plane crash.
So to be honest, if you remember The Best of Both Worlds, you don't see my name on that. You know what I mean? And
your name is not on either album.
Hell no, I never wanted no parts of that. So when Holmes was doing that shit, I was like, bro, you know our homie violated, and he violated my girl. He violated a friend of yours. So, But when he moved forward with that, like me, I was like, yo, Dusko! I was like, yo, I don't want no parts of that. Put my part of that to Aaliyah's breast cancer thing, you know? But then it was around the time when Jay was acting like he didn't want to really continue and move forward with all of us as partners because he didn't want Biggs down because he wasn't doing nothing. And I was like, yo, bro, I can't move forward. You know, we can start something new, but like Rockefeller, you know, that's us.
Come 2004, and Jay and R. Kelly had already recorded and released another album, Unfinished Business. They also finally went on their tour, and Jay had a swell time singing and dancing all with his creepy best friend. This made Dame feel betrayed and heartbroken because Jay was, well, like his brother. Jay also knew how difficult Aaliyah's experience with R. Kelly was for her, and he knew Dame tried as much as possible to stay away from R. Kelly because Aaliyah didn't want to make a scene.
There was a girl, and when she was even trying to talk about it, she couldn't.
Yeah.
And I remember Aaliyah trying to talk about it, and she couldn't. You know, she just would leave it at that dude was a bad man. And I didn't really want to know what he did to the extent that I might feel the need, you know,
to approach
to just deal with it. Just because that's what a man does. But it just was so much hurt for her to revisit it. It was like, I wouldn't even want to revisit it without a professional. Whatever got done was terrible.
But did Jay-Z stay loyal to the friend who had been with him literally through thick and thin? No, sir. He went ahead and publicly took his stance with R. Kelly, who would later be sent to prison for 30 years. Now, Jay and R. Kelly later fell out, with R. Kelly even allegedly panicking about Jay trying to unalive him. R. Kelly's former cellmate Ronnie Bo later talked about how R. Kelly was in prison, talking about Jay being jealous of him and trying to get him killed.
Prior to that event, he said like days before the event, he was getting death threats that he felt like was coming from Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was trying to basically, it may sound outrageous, but he felt like Jay-Z wanted to get him killed for whatever reason. I don't know if it could have been some Illuminati sacrifice type shit. I don't know. He don't know. You know what I mean? But that's how he felt. And so.
But what's important to know in all of this is that Jay didn't fall out with R. Kelly because of all the creepy, criminal, disgusting things R. Kelly did. He got angry with R. Kelly because around the time they wanted to go on tour, R. Kelly started acting unprofessionally. He wouldn't show up for rehearsals, or he'd show up late. He was paranoid and he complained about everything. According to inside sources, the reason why Jay-Z tried to stay cool with R. Kelly despite everything is that he was afraid that R. Kelly would try to bring him down with him as he was going down for his crimes. Because whatever R. Kelly was doing, Jay-Z was also doing. But rather than protecting him, Jay's closeness with R. Kelly only painted him in a bad light and made people start speculating on what he knew. That's supposedly the major reason their relationship went south, getting to a point where they started suing each other for millions and millions of dollars. Folks are now saying that Jay has learned his lesson from R. Kelly, and that's why he's giving Diddy the cold shoulder now. Diddy and Jay-Z have also been friends for a long, long time. They've always hung out together, and there are even rumors that Jay and Beyonce have attended many of Diddy's freak-off parties. In fact, Diddy recently said that the only two people allowed to call him by his government name are Jay-Z and his mother. And he still has a picture of himself and Jay on his website. Obviously, Diddy is very proud of his relationship with Hav. As for Jay, he seemed happy doing the video montage for Diddy's Lifetime Achievement Award, and he never fails to invite his BFF Diddy to his yearly Rock Nation parties. Speaking of which, y'all know how Rock Nation didn't host its annual brunch this year? Well, sources are saying Jay actually scrapped the entire shindig because it would seem odd if he didn't invite his friend Diddy this year, and Jay is reportedly trying to avoid him at all costs. But why would Jay be trying to avoid Diddy now? After all, he is known for having an unnatural allegiance to creeps. Well, allegedly, it's because, unlike R. Kelly, Diddy actually has evidence of Jay-Z participating in some really creepy things. It's not so difficult to see how that might be because we all know how Jay has a preference for younger girls. Bonus points if they were in their mid-teenage years. Take Foxy Brown, for example. Jay-Z came under a lot of heat when it was revealed that Foxy was only 15 years old at the time Jay-Z was allegedly dating her. At the time, Jay-Z allegedly lured Foxy into the relationship by promising her a successful career in Hollywood. Sources also claim that Jay paid Foxy a lot of money to keep quiet about the whole thing and that she's allegedly still on his payroll to this day. Jay even referred to it in his song, Picasso Baby, but when she was asked about it, Foxy tried to avoid the question, saying she and Jay were supposed to laugh it because that came with being famous. She said, "Was I shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music. We know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors." However, Dame Dash later confirmed the whole thing in an interview where he got suspiciously defensive when he was asked about it.
At what age was Foxy Brown signed?
No. I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown.
Yeah, but that's...
I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I know
Stop
you did.
putting
I'm
me in
just
that.
asking a
You keep asking
question.
because I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody. I don't know
You the
about
boss.
that. I wasn't. Oh, now I'm the boss.
I've always given you the credit as a
What I'm
boss.
saying is, bro, I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I'm just asking.
What do I got to do with Foxy Brown?
That's why I said it's a whole separate related question, Dave.
What do I have to do with Foxy Brown?
Because the first time I ever heard of Foxy
Now
Brown,
Dame got something to do with it? Don't beat around the bush. Say what you want to say.
I'm just
What do you mean by that question?
I was just asking.
What are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating. I just asked the question. I just wanted to know.
Hey, Kenyatta.
Kenyatta.
I'm
just asking.
Why you bring that up? What happened with Foxy Brown? I don't know. What were you saying?
I'm not. I was asking a question. I was asking a question.
All right, you bringing up something, but it ain't to me.
I was just asking a question.
I don't know. My name is Cousin Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Oh, now you ain't in it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying.
I promise you. I
thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
Did I sign it? It sounds like you.
All I'm saying is in this industry, when we live in these glass houses.
It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask him. Don't ask me his question.
Sounds familiar? Yeah, that's because Diddy promised Cassie the exact same thing when she was only 19 before trapping her in a hellscape of a relationship. But that's not all. Allegedly, back in the day, one of the girls Jay was messing around with named Wanda had a baby. Jay was allegedly 22 at the time, while Wanda was 16. That baby is now an adult named Rymir Satterthwaite, and he has been trying to get Jay to do a paternity test, but Jay has been avoiding him.
If you're not the father, why you ain't just get this done and over with? You know, my mom was a dancer. She used to go to a couple concerts with our friends, and basically they went to an apartment building. You know, they relaxed and chilled. And
has Jay-Z or any of his people tried to reach out to you to maybe like squash you from doing these?
I mean, I wouldn't say they trying to stop it, but they definitely don't want it out there. I would say that. It's crazy to me. You know, I'm not asking for no money or nothing. I'm not asking for no handouts or nothing like that. I work every day. I take care of my family. Only thing I'm asking for, if it's not the truth and there's nothing wrong with the Supreme Court, like, you know, just get it over with. Just get it over with.
Yeah, you just want the answer.
In an interview, Wanda's godmother, Lily, said, "I got a call from his in-house lawyer, and they were very helpful, and we thought we would resolve this privately. They even talked about Rymir's music talent and whether it was a good time to put him on his record label, but he had to finish high school, so I said no." Suddenly, different lawyers got involved, and their attitude completely changed. I think they realized there was more at stake for Sean, given that Wanda was allegedly young. Even with his wife, Beyonce, there have been rumors that he started dating her when she was much younger, even though they have always claimed they only started dating when she was 19. Jay himself slipped up in an interview where he implied he had met Beyonce when she was around 15 or 16. What's crazy is that Beyonce practically had zero experience with men before Jay-Z. She started focusing on her career from a young age, and her parents were very strict, so she only had like one boyfriend when she was younger, and obviously it was nothing serious. The next relationship she got into was with a man who was 12 years her senior and who only wanted her because his first option was not in love with him. Yeah, Aaliyah was the one who actually caught Jay's eyes, but as y'all know, that didn't work out because she was in love with Dame. Jay-Z was allegedly looking for a talented and beautiful R&B girl to make his queen and build a power couple with. But when Aaliyah didn't work out, he turned his sights to Beyonce. And have y'all ever noticed how Beyonce is basically a different version of Aaliyah? That's why there have also been rumors that Aaliyah's death was a sacrifice to make you-know-who come up in the industry. Reports from the incident said she didn't even want to get on the plane and that she was given a sedative by someone on her team and carried onto it when she was unconscious. All the details from that incident scream setup. In fact, Mary J. Blige outrightly said she believed Aaliyah's passing was a spiritual murder. Well, according to Ice Cube, Jay-Z is not above sacrificing others to push himself or his woman ahead in the industry. He once went on a rant to talk about the club of gatekeepers that destroys people's careers when they refuse to play the game.
And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what, who? Come on, man, stop playing. So
what's even more disturbing is that the reason why Ice Cube had beef with Jay-Z for so long is that allegedly Ice Cube has information on Jay-Z that has to do with his friendship with R. Kelly and Diddy. So you can imagine just how disturbing that information is. In another recent interview, Ice Cube stressed how important it is to talk about things when they need to be talked about, and that included calling out the evil in the industry.
About yourself when you say what needs to be said at the time it needs to be said, and not afterwards where you go home and think, I should have said this when that guy was there, or when I was there, I should have said that and I didn't. That haunts you more.
You can definitely say what the hell you like on this show. It's cool.
So what you can be sure of is that all the information Ice Cube has on Jay's nefarious activities will not remain in the dark for much longer, because if Ice Cube's recent interviews are anything to go by, then he's on a mission to weed out the dirt in the industry one at a time. Fans have, of course, dropped their thoughts on this whole issue. Cube is someone I can listen to because he's real and he speaks sensibly. If he drops dirt on someone, you know it's legit. His truth comes from an authentic place. He isn't doing this for some money to prop up his lifestyle. He would do it for his own reasons. Diddy and Jay-Z need to be in prison. These two are the devil and very dangerous. Why are they still on the street? Diddy and Jay-Z gon' continue messing with young girls and boys. But do y'all think Jay-Z used his friendship with Diddy and R. Kelly to get access to young girls he shouldn't have been with? Sound off in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.